Today I'm upgrading the lights on my Lexus GX470 with the Nilight 6-gang switch panel, a pair of hood-mounted pod lights, and a 40-inch roof-mounted light bar, and a set of rear-facing pod lights. Before we get started, a quick disclosure. Nilight provided me the front pod lights and the 40-inch light bar for this project. They didn't have any input on this video, and the installation, testing, and the opinions are completely my own. If you want to check out any of the products I used, I'll leave you links to everything down below in the description. Everything starts with the switch panel. I mounted the control box in the engine bay, connected the large connector for the power delivery to the battery directly. Then there is the ground, which we will be grounding to, where all grounds from the battery side of the cable go to the chassis. All of our grounds in the future for all of our lights we install will also be going to this location. And then we route 2 more wires into the cabin. One for the switch cable that will actually be controlling all of the buttons on the 6-gang, and then one that will lead to our accessory fuse inside the vehicle. This will power the 6-gang at the appropriate times when the vehicle is on. This uses a piggyback system, which we actually did something very similar, or exactly the same, I should say, that we ran for the DRL light control on those headlights. So this is the same. So actually both the headlight DRL and then the 6-gang switch panel accessory would go into the same piggyback for that accessory fuse. One of the biggest advantages of a switch panel like this is that it eliminates the need for relay harnesses and separate switches. It makes installing additional items really easy. Everything is controlled from one location, and each accessory has its own dedicated fuse circuit. Next, I mounted the hood pod lights. One thing I actually really like about these Nilight hood pod lights are how adjustable the mounting system is. They can rotate, they can slide inward and outward, and then the bracket and swivel up and down. This gives you a lot of flexibility to dial in exactly where you want the light to shine. For all of my wiring, I soldered the wires together to the lights and then covered them with heat shrink tubing anywhere it was applicable. From there, I ran both of the wires from these 2 lights into the appropriate location in the engine bay. Then with the ends together for both the reds, they will go into the same spot on the 6-gang fuse box, and then the 2 negatives, put them on the same grounding spot inside the engine bay. For the roof rack, I decided to go with a 40-inch light bar because this roof rack actually has a built-in mounting location designed specifically for that size. I also like that the Nilight bar has a slim, low-profile design. It fits the rack really well, and it doesn't look oversized like some larger light bars. For all of these extended wiring runs, I used a 14-gauge 2 conduit cable. One thing I was pleasantly surprised by with this cable is that it fits perfectly into the windshield channel. It stays tucked away without needing any adhesive or double-sided tape or glue, which is really nice and makes for a clean looking install. Again, this got soldered together and we used our heat shrink tubing, and then we made this run down one side and then into the engine bay across the front side of the firewall, and then found a dedicated spot again on the 6-gang fuse, as well as grounding it to that same location. I also did add a pair of rear-facing pod lights that I had to the back of the roof rack. I routed those wires along the roof rack underneath it, and then down the driver's side of the windshield before bringing everything into the engine bay and connecting them to another circuit on the switch panel. With everything connected, each accessory now has its own dedicated switch and fuse. The engine bay wiring stays organized, and I don't have multiple relay harnesses scattered throughout the vehicle. As for mounting the actual switches in the vehicle, I popped off the wood grain trim, drilled a couple holes into it, and then used the provided hardware to screw it into place. As for the cable from the firewall inside, this actually can sneak through from the side of the steering wheel with the cable, and it can connect nice and out of the way, and you can tuck the rest of it back behind the dash as needed. With everything installed, it was time to head out into the real world for testing, and for that, we headed out to Halsey. If you haven't seen my Halsey video, make sure you check it out. This place is pretty neat, but this is where we're going to be doing our testing. We want to see what this looks like at night. Let's start with just the factory headlights so you can get a baseline of just what you can see. Now, mine are obviously way brighter than the factory ones that were on the vehicle because we've already installed new aftermarket headlights, so these are quite bright. Now let's turn on the hood-mounted pod lights. These are commonly referred to as ditch lights because they are designed to illuminate the areas off the side of the vehicle that your headlights don't reach very well. After using them, I'd say they definitely help fill out those darker areas, especially along the shoulders of the road on trails. They're a nice improvement, but they aren't meant to dramatically increase your overall forward lighting. Now let's add the roof-mounted light bar. This is where the biggest difference shows up, in my opinion. The light bar throws a much wider and higher, further reaching beam over normal headlights and lighting up the ditches and tree lines way better. The entire area in front of the vehicle instead of just the lane ahead. It's important to remember that these aren't a replacement for your headlights. They're intended for off-road use, trails, campsites, remote roads, and anywhere where additional lighting is appropriate. Running both together gives you a really nice combination of wider visibility range and additional lighting on your sides. The rear pod lights were honestly a bit of a surprise for me. I expected them to be helpful, but they provide a huge amount of additional light behind the vehicle, whether you're backing up on a trail, reversing into a campsite, loading gear after dark, or just hooking up a trailer. Having this extra illumination behind the vehicle is very useful. Overall, I'm really happy with how this lighting setup turned out. The Nilight 6-gang switch panel made the wiring process so much cleaner than using multiple relay harnesses, and having every accessory controlled from one switch panel is incredibly convenient. You can also swap out all these individual button stickers and have a million different things you could wire in, so there's lots of expandability, or you can switch things up later down the line. The hood pods are a nice addition for improving side visibility. The roof bar makes by far the biggest difference in forward illumination while maintaining a clean, low-profile look. And the rear pod lights have quickly become one of my kind of surprise additions because of how practical they are. Overall, if you're looking to do one of these, I think the 40-inch bar is a fantastic addition and a great way to go. But if you're looking for a complete overhaul and great setup, honestly, I'm pretty pleased with how this all turned out. Thanks again to Nilight for providing these front pod lights and the 40-inch light bar for this project. If you'd like to build a setup like this on your own vehicle, I have links to everything I used, including the lights, the switch panel, the wiring, connectors, mounting hardware. It's all in the description. If this video was also helpful, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions about the install, leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer it. And if you're into other GX470 projects, overlanding, DIY installs like this, consider subscribing. And thanks for watching. I'll see all of you in the next one.